We surveyed nearly 200 members of the Lorcana community to see which cards you were most excited for.
With the reveal of Pongo, we've now seen half of the first set.
Each card received a score from 0 to 100, indicating the percentage of people that selected that card to be in their top 10.
For example, a score of 50% means half of the respondents selected that card as one of their favorites.
So will your favorite card be on the list?
Let's find out.
Number 10, Moana of Matanui. And what a great start to the list.
I know. And to dissect why Moana is so popular and our other results, we are joined by two Lorcana superfans. From the Lorcana Cast podcast, we have Sugi. Sugi, welcome.
What's going on, y'all?
And from the Illumineers YouTube channel, it's Jonti. Jonti, thanks for being here.
It's me. I've been here the whole time.
I do.
So, why is Moana so popular among Lorcana fans?
Well, it's probably quite a few reasons. First of all, she's a big character, newer character, so maybe younger people are a big fan of her. But like, also pretty well statted. The strength isn't great, but nice big butt on her and 3 lore, and I think she might have been the first card we saw that cared about other card types. I think was she the first one that we saw that because she mentions other princesses, and instantly seeing one card like that, you can imagine the deck that it's in, right? And you can suddenly start making that deck in your head, even if you haven't seen many other princess cards.
Yeah. Also, she was one of the very first cards revealed. Her face is on the starter box, so we've got a lot of Moana in the marketing, so she's just been very prominent. And like Jonti was saying, she's just cool. Like, most of the people we've talked to over these past almost a year, which is incredible, are very casual players. And so a lot of people don't realize that when there's, questions asked or people are wanting to talk about cards or decks, it's usually coming from a very casual standpoint, not a competitive standpoint. So Moana not only is casual friendly, she's also competitive friendly. She's cool, she's hot, she's new, her face is plastered everywhere, and I mean, people love princesses, and she's basically the linchpin for princess decks. Like, why not?
Yeah, absolutely. I will add, like, I think what is so cool about Moana is it brings in this whole other generation of players to the game. So she even has a different, I feel like almost a different generation at this point than even like Elsa does. So it's just continually bringing in people to the table and having that excitement extend.
This is a bit of a deep cut, but the original 6 that they showed, they started using those 6 on promotional material at events, and then they actually changed out the Robin Hood for the Moana card. So, yeah. and I can only think that's because they wanted to try and get all of the age ranges sort of ticked off on that picture.
Coming in at number 9, Captain Hook, Captain of the Jolly Roger.
I'm not surprised. I feel like cards. So here's my guesstimation on people's assessment. A lot of the cards in the top 10 are going to be a combination of cards we've seen the longest, cards that are most impactful in the game, or cards that just look really, really, really cool. Like, just flat out cool. So I'm not surprised at this one. He's much more on the player side mechanically, because if you've played the game, you know that on turn 5 you can slap him down, you can get the cannons, you can play the cannons, or you can do the turn 6 thing where it's like play a cannons, play a Jolly Roger, play the same card again. So essentially you get 4 damage on the board. I would wager his art is not the defining purpose of this card being popular, but his ability, his prominence in removal spells, in aggro, really, really nice. Very, very good card. We'll definitely see a lot of him at locals.
Yeah, I agree. At the end of the day, we currently have 4 removal spells, I guess, sort of 4 hard removal spells, and this card, with Let It Go, if you're including that, this card gets one of them back to play again. Recursion is just good. Being able to go and get cards and reuse them again is just strong in any card game. So it's pretty clear why this one's there, mostly because of that. The art's good. It's maybe a little busy, but yeah, it's not necessarily one of the standout pieces of art, I don't think. But Captain Hook's got a bit of a following. He's got, there is a bit of a subset of people there who really enjoy him. But yeah, I think this is all about the fact that you just get to use your cannons again.
I'm willing to bet that if you did this poll once the whole set comes in, he's nowhere near the top. Just because, like Jonti's saying, he's one of the few options that gives us recursion in removal. Like, those two words are like God's gift to players. And there should be more, there should be better, there should be more interesting. So I would love to see what this poll looks like after the first set, because I'm pretty sure about 30% of these will stick and the rest are just going to be gone.
Coming in at number 8, with 22% of people putting this in their top 10, Fire the Cannons.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah. Pretty much everything we just said about the last
literally,
one.
yeah.
Just do we say it again?
Yeah.
This one.
Awkwardly slightly better art? Question mark? I guess we could argue over that.
It's it's lightning bolt in Magic. It's it's just it's the quintessential do a bit of damage for a cheap cost, and I think it's one of those cards that we'll probably see be reprinted in later sets, or we might see like slight variations of it. This is the sort of card that you can definitely see like in the future it kind of creeps up, and like maybe set 4 or set 5 we see a 1-drop that does 3 damage. Please, and then it sort of outpaces Fire the Cannons. But as it stands right now, this gets rid of pretty much anything you can play on the first couple of turns. And deals with evasive, it deals with just loads of sticky things. It gets rid of the Pascals and the baby Maleficents that everyone hates. If you're playing against them, you love them if you're playing them, but if you're playing against them, you hate them.
Listen, we need to clarify that. I love. Very nice.
And this just deals with them,
Yeah. It's an extender for when you can't get up into bigger numbers. Moana's a great example. 6, 7, and 8. Really awkward numbers in Lorcana. Most things are around the 3 to 4 strength range. So being able to take what you have plus a cannons and get you into those higher numbers is a great tool. So it's great mid-game, early game, technical, depending on how your board state falls. So it's just the quintessential staple for Lorcana. Like, it's just going to see play forever because of how flexible and cheap it is. Like, why would you not?
One thing I found myself doing with it more than often than not is not necessarily using it on small things and not necessarily using it to sort of top up the strength of one of my characters. I've been pinging something on their board with it and then questing with my character and being like, you can hit this now, but it becomes a trade now because I've pinged you with the cannons. And I find myself doing that quite a lot.
At number 7, with 24.5% of the vote, we have Friends on the Other Side.
I mean, what can you say about the best? Okay. I'm gonna protect myself from future proofing. The currently best available draw card in the game at a common rarity. Yes, I agree. I hate the art though. I don't like it, but I want to see it in foil. That might change my mind.
I kind of dig the art, but it's card draw. What, like TCG 101, more cards in your hand is good. And this is, it's relatively well costed. It can be sang very easily. It can be inked, although I don't know why you would. Who knew? Card draw is good in card games.
What?
I think it's the only.
It is the
card
only
that just
card
draws
draw.
cards, right?
It
Obviously,
is the
there's
only
stuff
card.
Yeah, there's stuff
everything else
playing or there's
you actually net one.
Yeah, the Carefree Surfer can draw you 2, but there's there's hoops to jump through and it's a 7 cost and stuff. Like, this is just great value, really good value. I'd be surprised if we see a better card draw card in the first set.
It's coming.
Surprising. Just not surprising to see it on the list then.
No.
Coming in at number 6 with 26% of the vote is Stitch, Carefree Surfer.
What? Oh my gosh! Another
can
card
I just
draw
say this? Genuinely, me and Sugi do not know this list before we start. We genuinely are going in blind.
Purposely, we were offered an
You're
opportunity
to
know
segues into the next one.
It's kind of scary.
Can we do
I
like
feel like
a
I know this game more than I thought I did.
Yeah. Can Jonti and I do our top 10 without knowing anything? Because we don't know anything now. Yeah, I'm like,
Next time we'll have you do the list and then we'll match them up.
Okay.
I do wonder how much of this is down to the fact that it is Stitch and that it's awesome art and that it mentions card draw. I actually think this is a bit of a, and it's newer. I do wonder if this is a bit of a win more card though, honestly. Like if you've got 7 ink and you're smashing this down and there's already 2 things on your board as well, card draw is always good, but at that point, you know, you're in a pretty good space anyway. So I personally think this is a bit of a win more card, but it is cool, and you know, bonus points for Pudge.
Yeah, I think the newness of this card is what got it on the list, because we haven't really had time to test it amply. It is more of a snowball win more card, and I think the art actually really helped this one, because the effect and stat lines are like, they're good, they're really good. But when you look at that card, like, I actually want a playmat of this. I want this more than the Maui, and I liked the Maui just-in-time playmat. So I think this card visually is stunning.
Number 5, Mickey Mouse Wayward Sorcerer.
Huh. Okay.
That is the first time Sugi reacted that way.
I think I know why he's so high. This was the second thing we saw for Lorcana, I think, in the videos, because he kind of like popped out of that book when they did the review.
It is in the trailer.
Actually, is this the first character that we saw, actually, like officially saw? I think it is.
From that video, we saw in that video he's shown before the cards are. So But I think we got an image of the cards before we got that video.
Right, but he was the first character without a card that we didn't know about. So it was like, oh, is it an evil Mickey? Is it a sorcerer Mickey? Like, what is this? So we kind of got shown the first 6, and it's like, cool, that's awesome. And then we get like this teaser of a Mickey Mouse doing a thing. So like, he was kind of in the forefront of everyone's minds for a long time. And then we saw his ability that's really good. He quests for 2, he empowers the broom strategy, his art is great, a very great mid-range card. Like, there's nothing wrong with the card. But like, in terms of why is he so high, I feel like he was the first big question mark in Lorcana. Like, what does this do? And then we got a great payoff of, oh, he does good, cool.
Mm-hmm. I think it's definitely that. I think like Mickey Mouse obviously is always going to do high on people's lists just because of who he is. I also think much like Moana may be doing well because she's, again, it's a card that tells you the deck. Mickey Mouse is a card that tells you its deck, right? Like, you very instantly, as soon as you see it, you start thinking, well, how many brooms are we going to get? How much are the brooms going to cost? How many? Can I build a whole deck just around brooms? Please, and I think that gets exciting as well. I do hope we see more brooms. I feel like we should. Again, any card like that, I think that sort of really telegraphs what it wants you to do with it. I think is very appealing, especially to more casual players. Like you look at Elsa, for instance, the very first Elsa we got, Snow Queen. You can exert her to exert something else. That takes knowledge of the game and knowledge of how games like these work in general to really figure out whether there's value there or not. Whereas Mickey Mouse Wayward Sorcerer says, yeah, brooms go bruh, like just play brooms, good stuff, and you're there. So,
isn't he also on the same deck front as Moana? It's Mickey and Moana in the yellow-purple deck for the starter.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So that again, that doesn't surprise me that we'll probably see like more or not characters that their names and faces are just very prominent on the Lorcana marketing front.
Interesting.
All right, next one's going to be... Go on, next one's Aladdin.
Aladdin.
It feels like it's an appropriate time to announce that number 4, with 31% of the vote, is Aladdin Heroic Outlaw.
Oh my God! How do we know? It's like we're psychic. All right, Jonti, let him have it. Let it rip.
I think I like Aladdin Heroic Outlaw, perhaps different, maybe slightly different from other people. For me, I love the fact that we are getting cards that are clearly built for multiplayer. I am a big multiplayer player. Like most of my Magic these days is multiplayer. We play Commander 2, 3, 4 times a week in the store, and for me, like the fact that not only is multiplayer possible just due to the rules of the game, they're actually building towards it with cards. That's really exciting for me. Whether or not that's why it's placed, I don't know. I don't know if that's such a big deal to a lot of people. Most of the talk we have when it comes to like theory crafting of the cards so far is 1-to-1. I don't know whether it's that, or if other people are as excited about multiplayer Lorcana as I am. I don't know.
Another thing is, this is again what we're talking about, one of the front runner cards that we saw a picture of and go, oh, that's cool, what do we do? And then we got the reveal on the ability and we're like, oh, it's a multiplayer card that also swings 4 points of lore, 2 to me, 2 from you. And Aladdin is very, and I mean very popular with a lot of Disney people. So this combination of a cool card, cool art, cool ability from a beloved franchise that was plastered all over the marketing campaign for Lorcana, like, not surprising at all. Not a bit.
Speaking of popular characters,
coming in at number 3 with 38% of the votes, Genie on the job.
Shocking. Not surprised. If he wasn't in the top 5, I would have been very wonderful, questioning what's going on here. So I won't talk about his ability because there's a lot to parse that. So here's what I think about Genie. Probably at this point, okay, I'll stand on this hill. I think he has the most colorful and most visually appealing art on a card. This is the one card I want, all in cold foil. I wouldn't hate them if they did this in rainbow foil as an alternate art. He is just so prominent. You got the blue, the green, the color of the character. There's all the swirls in the background. It's just a vibrantly, visually appealing piece of art. And then he has stats that are great. But like, the moment I saw this card, I was like, I don't care. I don't care if he's a common. I don't care if he's a negative common. I will play this card. It's beautiful. Take my money.
Yeah, evasive's good as well. That's all I can really add to that. Yeah, it's a really good looking card. I actually think it's well, it's not overcosted. I don't like the fact that it's uninkable, but yeah, evasive is, like, at the moment at least, evasive is really strong. Possibly the strongest, like, just single keyword in the game at the minute, I think.
Coming in at number 2, Stitch Rockstar.
Okay, this. Go, Jonti.
That surprises me. Sorry, that surprises me a little bit. Like, I don't know. He's really good. Again, I think it might be similar to Carefree Surfer. Like, Stitch is just a super popular character, and I think maybe people who haven't really dived into the sort of Disney fandom recently maybe don't quite realize how popular Stitch actually is. Like, there are areas of stores in theme parks devoted to Stitch merchandise. Like, he really is one of the more popular characters when it comes to merch and stuff like that. Other than that, yeah, he is a good card. I think he's getting less good the more we see of the set. But, you know, it's still, again, it's another one of these ones where it kind of tells you what it wants you to do with the deck, you know?
So, like, there was an interesting time where Stitch marketing was, hey, it's a movie. Also, Stitch is like the rebel Disney character. And so there was just like this blowout of, oh my gosh, Disney has a rebel character I can love and like attach myself to. And then over the years, they've kind of, you know, played into that and away from that. And like Jonti was saying, like, there's places where it's like all Stitch everywhere. So like, if you've never experienced literal Stitch mania, it's a genuine thing. So I think that's part of it. Another thing I think is a part of it goes back to the artwork, and I can never say the artist's name. I know you guys can. Can you please help me so I don't butcher it?
Simangalisto Sabaya.
Okay, so I'm gonna just, you know, edit me in saying that. Like,
call him Panda.
You can call him Panda.
Panda. Okay, thank God.
Everybody calls him Panda.
Okay, thank you, Panda. I appreciate your moniker. This piece of art is beautiful. Like, this is gorgeous. Whether the card is good or not, it's just visually stunning.
It is, yeah. It's incredible. Also, I mean, like, one of the first 6, the first Floodborn we saw as well, you know? So, like, just, like, instantly within those first 6 that we saw, Stitch was the one that really stuck out for me personally. 'Cause it was like, oh, look, they're going to go, like, down the road that, like, Mirrorverse and Infinity has gone before it, where they can sort of stretch out what these characters are away from the sort of classic lore of them. So that was really exciting.
So I think it's a combination of Stitch is popular, this version of Stitch is beautiful, and then it was one of the original 6. So it's one of the things we've seen the longest. And on top of that, in terms of, like, you know, videos and content creation, stuff like that, this Stitch deck has seen a lot of play just because it's very straightforward with you get Stitch on the board, you play a bunch of characters, you flood the board with a bunch of little bodies. The moment they untap, if they untap, you get to just quest. So it's more than likely going to be an archetype we will see in Lorcana. So it kind of hits everything in terms of art, popularity, sustainability, playability, yada yada. So I figured this card would be very much somewhere on the top of the list. So yeah, not surprising at all.
I think he probably gets a lot better with more earlier game card draw, because the thing I'm finding at the moment when I'm playing a Rockstar deck is by the time I get him down, my hand's nearly empty and I'm not able to spam the little ones, you know? So, and Carefree Surfer, which is obviously the other Stitch that can get you card draw, comes after this guy. So yeah, you know, so it's tricky to do. I'd definitely be interested to see more sort of hand filling up earlier on in these colors. But yes, it's clear that this is a deck that is, you know, it's an archetype for them, and it's definitely one that, you know, the cards have been designed around. I just don't think we're quite there yet. No. And it was doing okay, and then the card you're about to talk about came.
We're predicting number one, huh? Okay.
I said it. I said before we started recording.
That's
I said
true. That's true.
One.
All right, I agree with Jonti. I think we both believe Tinkerbell is number one, but I'll make a hot take. I think number one is going to be BLT Mickey. That's my guess.
All right. Before we announce number one, here are a few honorable mentions.
And if you want to take part in future projects like this, or you're looking for more Lorcana content, please consider subscribing.
Number one, with a whopping 64% of people selecting her in their top 10, is Tinkerbell Giant Fairy.
Oh, shocking. All right, well, what do you want us to say? This is the card we've been asking for months. Yeah.
Tinkerbell has a great following. Yeah, she's AOE, incredible art, just insane abilities, easily you know, I think it's very tricky. You've got to be very careful when you're analyzing cards to be like, this is the best card, or this is, you know,
or the boogeyman,
because it completely depends on how your deck is built and how what you're playing is built. But there is no single card that has as much impact on the board currently in the game than this card. Like it, just look at how much writing there is on it, you know, like this card does a lot, and it does a lot the turn it comes out.
So I think Jonti has a really good point that the current state of affairs, Tinkerbell has the most impactful amount of abilities and text on her card, encroaching on Yu-Gi-Oh territory where there's like 3 paragraphs of text, but like she has a shift mechanic, which is essentially flash in Magic terms. You can just pop her out and go, here I am. She has an ETB, which is an enter the battlefield. When she enters the battlefield, does a thing. When she banishes things, she does another thing. She's got a huge stat line. I mean, like, what else do you want? The other thing is, this is a card people have been asking for months. We need AoE damage to deal with, like, wide boards, things I can't hit that have evasive, things that just won't tap because my opponent's trying to build this super wall and then just slap, hey, here's 20 lore, haha, lol. That's not fun. So exactly. she's kind of the answer to a lot of things that we've asked for in terms of like play as players.
Not only does she do so much, she, like, again, with especially like if you shift her, she does it as she comes down, right? Like there's no more impactful card, I don't think. And you were just saying before how you'd love to see what this list looks like when the set's fully revealed. If you'd have done this list a week ago, Baby Maleficent, Pascal would have been in here, and they've instantly all dropped off purely because of this single card. It is the AoE damage, it is the board wipe that we've been asking for, and not only that, like she looks great doing it as well. Like just like they could have easily brought out an action, you know, all creatures take one. You know, as all characters take one damage. Yeah, fine, cool, okay, does the job. But no, Tink comes out just like full of swagger and does it. It's so good. It's almost becoming a bit of a meme now that every art that comes out, we're all like, this is the new best art.
Except that cursed Donald. This is Donald Duck.
They're both Donalds now.
They're both
super
Donald.
cursed, But no, Giant Fairy is definitely up there. Absolutely gorgeous art. Cookie's done an incredible job at it. And just what a card. Just shows that just how far they're building out mechanics even in this first set is just really exciting to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. With 103 cards left to go before we see the entire first chapter, there are tons of cards that could shake up this list. Let us know what you're excited to see.
And if you want to know how a specific card did in these rankings, ask us down below and we'll let you know.
Sign off catchphrase.
All right. That's good.